Yo, so a new Deadlock patch just dropped, and I've been looking for content that like really, I guess, breaks down the numbers, and I guess I haven't been able to find any, so I decided to look into it myself. And I think for me, at least, it makes more sense, uh, to see like actual numbers, say like this spell did 100 more damage compared to like spirit scaling increased by 1.2 to 1.5 or whatever. So I decided to like I guess do a deep dive into the patch. I guess first off, the spirit or the HP reduced by 10 for all heroes, and then the per boon also by 3. So that's like about 100 or so flat HP down in total if you don't buy any green items. And I have the full comparison here on screen here. So this is for the lowest HP character in the game, Mina. And in the mid game, she's about losing. So this is Mina at level 20, right? Level 20. This is her base HP, and this is her HP with the 4.8k green spike. And before she was at 1780, now she's at 1680. So she's losing about 100 HP in the mid game. And I know most Mina builds sit at 4.8k green, so this is probably where she's gonna be. She's losing about 100 150 HP, and then you actually get to make up a lot of the HP for I guess for all characters. You actually make up the HP if you buy more green because they made 16k green give 54% compared to 50% before. So see, if she buys like 20, 30,000 worth of green items, she's about where she was before. Still down about 60, but compared to down 100 in the mid game. And I guess this is for a mid-range HP character, Yamato. She's also losing about 100 HP mid game. She picks it back if you invest more in the green. And same with Moon Crow. Yeah. Uh, Also, I'm not gonna go over like every single patch notes. I'm just trying to like go over, I guess, what makes sense to actually quantify compared to last patch. So Spirit Urn, I mean, that's not really, can't really compare that before. Guardian scaling and whatever, I don't really know how I can quantify that. But I guess the notes next. Oh, missing percent for medic troopers. So this is about. So it's 1%, right? So if you're missing 500 HP, you now heal 5 more. And if you're missing like 1,000 HP, you're healing now 10 more. So that's that change. Hold on. Yeah, so I am not a YouTuber, so my shit is very disorganized and rambly. But this is the new Mystic Shot scaling, where it's now 1.2 compared to 1.0 before. So here we have how much spirit power you have in total at like different breakpoints. So this bar right here is about how much you would probably have with 4.8k spirit, and assuming this is assuming you get like no golden statue buffs and no other random sources of spirit power. It's about 70. So before, it's doing about 92 to 110 depending on where you're at with spirit, and now it's doing about 10 more damage to 14, and it does do 20 to 30 more damage in the late game. Moving on, healing right. Healing right heals about 6 more in the early game to about 10 or 9 more. So it's about you get like 10 more HP for healing right if you have spirit investments. Indomitable gets about also 10 HP or 10 more shielding in the early game and mid game. It goes up to 20 if you have like really high spirit. Uh, Veil, I guess also did Veil. Veil. I'm just curious about how much Veil is healing. What is this actually calculate? Hold on. Oh, this is how if you proc Veil like every time that it's up, you have like an out of combat regen of like 5.67. Yeah, that's that. Golden statue buffs. Okay, so this golden statue buffs is like okay. Let me just get into it. Um, So this is the approximate value of each golden statue buff uh, to the soul count or to the soul value. You can see that like this is the soul value listed out, and this is calculated with the items compared to like if the item only gave that with that and like nothing else. So like the HP one is calculated with extra health, right? It's like 210 health to 400 for 800 souls. Spirit is I forgot what it's called, but it's the first spirit one, 800 for 10. Um, Fire rate is the rapid fire one. And these mag and damage, there's actually no item that gives like only damage and only mag, but the extended magazine gives. I forgot what it gives exactly. Extended. So it gives 30% ammo and 8% weapon damage, which we can't really calculate by itself. But Titanic magazine is its upgrade for 1600 and also gives the same stats, but at like a different ratio. So we can then calculate the approximate value of the mag and damage to be this much separated. CDR, I used, it's the superior, I think. Yeah, so this is with CDR, but okay, so I probably like the devs aren't balancing the items around, like they're like assigning individual soul values and then just giving stats out like that. But I guess that's the only way to actually quantify the soul value of these items. So this is 20% CDR for all your abilities, but this is also including the 4 out of combat regen. So to take this out, I had to calculate it based on improved spirit. So improved spirit is giving 18 spirit power and 1.5 out of combat regen. But since we know that 10 spirit power is worth 800 souls, then we're saying that 2 spirit power is equal to the amount of 1.5 out of combat regen. So for taking the out of combat regen out of here, which we know the value of based on souls, based on improved spirit, then the CDR is about 150 souls. Okay, so with that out of the way, this is just like the average of like each stat at minute 0, at minute 10 when the golden statue buffs get an upgrade, and then they upgrade again at minute 30. Uh, you can see that ammo is basically worth nothing if you get that buff. So this is the average without ammo. I was just curious on how much difference it made. Um, but moving on to the actual egg buffs. So this is assuming you're holding the egg for 10 minutes, holding the egg for 20 minutes, and then holding the egg for 30 minutes. I didn't actually do for 40 minutes because I assume by then most people are not holding the egg that long. The game's probably over. But yeah, this is the soul value, the raw souls that you get from just the egg, and how many buffs you get. And this is the approximate buff value from here, based on, yeah. So before the egg was giving about, if you're holding it for 10 minutes, it's giving about 2.3k. And with the new egg buffs, you're getting more buffs, right? So the total average value is about 400 more if you hold it for 10 minutes. And if you hold it for 20 minutes, it is about 1,000 more. If you're holding it for 30 minutes, I think is when, actually no, I'm pretty sure the golden statue buffs, they upgrade at 20 minutes, right? No, they upgrade at 30 minutes. So yeah, if you hold it for 30 minutes, you're getting about, what is this, like 1.5 thousand more souls of value. Uh, yeah, I think that's that of value. Yeah. Spirit Snatch. I think this one just got a ratio upgrade, right? I can't look it up. Okay. Spirit Snatch. This, yeah. So I'm not accounting this part into calculations because I don't know if the steal happens before the bonus damage. I'm pretty sure it doesn't, but I could be wrong. But this is about how much damage increase you're dealing. This is still based on these total spirit numbers. So at 35 spirit, it's about doing 3 more damage. So at 4.8k, it's about doing 6 more damage now with the new scaling. 7 more damage, somewhere around there. Radiant regen, I tried to calculate it, but it was pretty convoluted because it's based on spirit and it's based on how many people you hit, and then it's like, but it's pretty much you just get one more tick, I think. So yeah. Uh, Abrams. What is this? Oh, I tried to see how much. I think how much HP effective Abrams has in a fight with the new melee strike lifesteal thing. And I was looking at some Abrams build. I think most of them just build. Well, or Spirit Abrams only build Spirit Snatch. So this is some calculations. Based on that, I think he just. What am I actually calculating here? Hold on. Okay, yeah, this is calculating the 80%, 18% lifesteal. Oh, this is light melee. This is heavy melee. Okay, that makes sense. So this is how much HP he's getting in a fight if he light melees, and if he heavy melees with that new upgrade that he got. And this is with Colossus. And I was testing this in game, and he was doing more damage than the actual numbers. So I'm not sure what's going on there. But yeah. Gun Bebop. Gun Bebop got a nerf with his base. I think his base bullet, yeah, per boon got decreased, and then his damage amp also went down. So I was looking at Gun Bebop builds. This is like, I think the builds from Erebus. I think number one deep Bebop. This is, I mean, I just click left to right. So this is about the level 20 and level 35. Like a guess of how much items you would have. Uh, so this part is assuming the burst fire is active. So it's at 1928 bullets per second. This is just base damage, no items here. Yeah, so no items, no gun items. He's losing about like 5 to 10 DPS early game, and about like 20 DPS late game. But with the actual gun build, he's losing about 60 DPS, and then like in the mid game to about, this is I think 80. He's losing about 80 DPS, which is actually significant. Like assuming over a 10-15 second fight, he's like losing 800 to about 1,000 damage, assuming he's hitting everything at every possible moment. But that's, yeah, theoretical. This is also not taking account any bullet resists or anything like damage reduction or anything like that. Yeah. Billy HP. Billy got a HP boon buff, but his damage went down. So this is Billy's HP before at level 10, 20, 35, and then with the investment spikes. And this is Billy HP now with the new buffs. So at 4.8k in the mid game, he gained about 300 HP, which is quite significant, I think. And then also with the new green spikes, so 16k green now also is giving 54% instead of 50% before. So yeah, in with 16k he's getting about 400 HP. In the late game, depending on how much green he buys, it's like 700, between 700 and actually it says 700, I guess. Yeah, so he's about 700 more HP. Oh, this is not even taking into account. It's because green items is like it takes your base HP and then you get the investment percentage and it adds any flat HP you get on top of that. So any golden statue buffs or any items that give just flat HP is added on top of the value you get after the investment spike. Billy Gun. So Billy actually has multiple damage amp sources from his rect and his, I think his charge gives him like 25%. So this is assuming this is his DPS before, and then this is DPS before, assuming he hits his charge and he's getting the wrecked amp. And then this is just with gun, 4.8k gun, and then this is assuming he is he has 4.8k gun and he hit both of his amps. So this is his DPS before, and this is his DPS after. Uh, it's about 20 DPS in the mid game, and we're looking at about 40 DPS late game, which is about over a 10-20 second fight, 400, 800 damage. Calico. I wanted to look at how much damage increase she's getting. She lands her bombs, which reduce the melee resist of a character. So this is the melee. This is the Calico build, which I pulled. I think it's of some Eternus 6 Calico player. This is yeah. I know some Calico combos they like go swipe and then they also hit like a light melee in between the combo. So I added a light melee damage chart or column. Level 10. This is light melee, assuming these items with the slash, and then with this is the damage with Ava, the 20% amp. This slash column is assuming slash is not maxed. I looked at the builds and most Calico builds were not maxing her slash until last. So I just put it where like if you're not like towards the late game, this is taking her slash before the plus 60 tier 5 thing. But this at 35, this is with the tier 5 plus 60 damage baked in. So this is the combo damage before. And now if you land 2 bombs, this is how much damage you're doing. 4 bombs, how much you're doing. And if you land like all 7 bombs, this is how much damage you're doing. So say you're landing 2 bombs, this is about 30 more damage. In the mid game, if you land 4 bombs, it's like 60. And yeah, you can see how much damage we're doing here. Doorman. You just got like a 10% damage nerf, or 10% skilling nerf on his bell. So like every 100 HP he has, or every 100 spirit he gets, he's doing I think 10 less damage. Pretty sure that's how it works. So with 50 spirit, he's doing like 5 less damage. Yeah. Dynamo also lost 10%, so the math is I think the same. Haze. Uh, he's doing 0.2 or 0.02 more damage per fixation in the late game. So if she lands 50 bullets on you, she's doing 1 more damage per bullet. But like her bullets innately have like she has low damage per bullet, right? So like in the late game, her bullets are doing 10 damage. So an increase of 1 is actually a 10% increase. Uh, and, and then if you hit 80 fixation stacks, you get 1.6 more damage per bullet, and then you're doing about 10% more damage depending on how much stacks you get. It's between like 5 to 16 based on how much fixation, I guess. Dynamo, I mean Kelvin. Kelvin also got, I think he also got a 10% damage nerf, right? Based on this bomb thing. So it's dealing same as before as here. So every 100 spirit he has, he's losing 10 damage. His Arctic Beam, he lost like it's like 12%. Yeah, so it's 12%. So every 100 spirit he gets, he's losing 12 damage per second, and base duration is like 4.5 seconds. So over the course, he's losing about 60 about 60-50 damage. I don't know if Kelvin builds duration, but if he builds duration, it's like probably heading towards like 70. No, what am I saying? Anyways, I mean something like that. So about at 4.8k mark, he has like 70 spirit. He's using about 40 damage on his entire Arctic beam, assuming no duration increase. Lash. Lash got uh gun gun nerfs, and then he also doesn't stack anymore. So this is Lash before his base ability DPS, and I know Lash doesn't build any attack speed items. Yeah, I think he just builds like recharging plus headshot thingy. I'm supposed to build no, but this is just the DPS he was doing before with 4.8k gun. I don't remember if Lash builds were going above 4.8k, but this is just the DPS before. And then with if he grapples once and twice and then three times, yeah, I feel like grappling three times is I don't know how realistic that is, but I just put it in to see. So that's that, and then this is his DPS now after with the nerfs, and then with one grapple. So if he's grappling you once, it's about 3 less DPS. If he's not building gun, it's about 2 less DPS. This is his new ground strike. What is it called? Like slam or something? His new skilling. Uh, yeah, he's doing like 0.1 more damage per meter. So this is I'm trying to find like how like what's the average height Lashes is like slamming you from. Like good height calculators. So I did some calculations based on no spirit lash. He's doing so this I found is about 31 meters. I think this is from the tallest building in the map to the lowest point that you can hit from there, which is like the bottom part, the canal, uh, before the little ramp up here that would go into mid boss. This is about 31 meters, and I don't know if this is like a realistic um, like height, but I know that this from about the height of the top of this pole thing to where Infernus is right here is about 21 meters. Yeah, so at 25 meters, I think his strike is like doing 2 more damage total. Based on his spirit, it's like doing 5.8k. And yeah, I feel like this buff, like I don't know if I'm missing something, but I feel like this is basically a placebo buff. Oh my goodness. Per boon got buff, right? Yeah. This is so I didn't do like I know like McGinnis has like a spin up thing where like she holds her mouse one and then it like gradually gets faster. I did not feel like calculating that part, so I'm just assuming that she's just doing her thing at max fire rate the entire time. This is her DPS before at level 10, 20, 35. I was looking at McGinnis builds. Most builds end at around 115% weapon damage increase if you're building like actually gun. So this is about that. And now she's doing 10 more DPS if you're building gun. And if you're not, you're doing about 5 more DPS late game. Mid game about 3 more DPS. Mina, her ult I feel like got a massive nerf to where she's losing her on hit, which is apparently doing 20% of the value. So I didn't even know that. And she's also lost half her percent of current HP. So Mina's ult is hard to calculate because it's doing percent current HP, right? So every damage that you're doing makes the next hit do less damage because you're taking away HP from the target, right? So the next hit does less damage. because it's based on percent current. Uh, but I used ChatGPT. Let me show you. I lied. It's not ChatGPT. It's Gemini. But it ran some it ran some calculations for me, and it gave me like a graph to plug in. I mean, it looks legit. I cross-referenced it. I mean, I'm not like a math major or anything, so I guess this could be a nothing. But I cross-referenced it with other LLMs, and they were giving the exact same numbers. So this feels right. Before, so this is how much on-hit damage she was doing per bat at the 20% reduction. Based on still these spirit power numbers. So at 4.8k spirit, he's doing 2 damage on hit per bat before. So on total, she's doing 14 damage per bat flat before the 1%. So this is the damage. Also, it's like it depends on how much bat stacks you have and how much bats you're actually landing. So I'm just doing like some rough estimates, assuming you land like 50 bats against a 3000 HP target. You're doing about this much damage, and 100 bats. This is like a really good ult against like say somebody like in the air. You were able to like land the entire bat against like a 7 or like a lash that just sits there and tanks the whole thing. Watch how much damage you're doing. These numbers is not real because like you're basically they're dead before the ult finishes. But this is also assuming before spear resistance is effect. So before she was doing this much damage, 17, about 1800. But now after, she's doing about 1200. So she lost about 600 damage on an average ult, I would say. I don't know how much bats you're landing on average, but I would say that 50 is like it's like a fair ballpark, I would say. So 600 damage on a squishy target with a 3000 HP, and she's losing about a near a thousand damage against tankier targets. Um, and she's losing more with more AP she gets, or more spirit power she gets. Sorry, about she's losing, yeah, 900 damage against tankier targets. Yeah. Rem. Rem got like a buff to where his nap time, the barrier buff number thing when he's like inside somebody, and then also with the new Guardian Ward also got a number buff. So I was just trying to see how much damage or how much more shielding that he was getting if he buys Guardian Ward. So he gets about 87 more shielding from Guardian Ward now with the new nap time and a new Guardian Ward. 7 got a bullet boon decrease, and then those 7 builds I think end around 80% weapon damage. So this is that. So this is the DPS before, and this is the DPS with the weapon damage, and also the DPS after. So out was it 6, 7? Okay, I did not mean to say that, but 7 DPS in the mid game and about 13 DPS in the late game. Silver. Oh, this is the attack speed change. So this is her transformed bullet. How much damage she's doing per strike, I guess. And this is how much her bullet per second before. Like on the wiki, it says her base transform is like 2, or like she's doing 2 strikes a second. But the curse itself is like giving an attack speed buff. So this is that. it was 80 before, and this is our DPS before. This is our DPS now. Assuming no spirit investment, and assuming no other sources of like attack speed buffs, but she needs about 100 spirit to break even now, or like break to where she was before. So 100 spirit is giving her 45% attack speed, and then with the 6.5 attack speed before, she's now getting 100% 110% attack speed. I don't know what is this calculating? 25%? I don't know. I don't know what this is doing, but anyways, 100 spirit before is giving. Oh, it's giving 25 AS, right? Yeah. Okay. So 100 spirit before is giving 25 AS. Come with the 80% innate that she gets from curse is 105. So yeah, this is just 100 spirit is about where she would break even now, or like where she would overtake the the old silver. Venator HP got okay. So this is like this this is fake because this number is not taking into account the the this. So the real numbers for Venator, at least as of right now, is 820 plus 45 per boon. I like checked in game because like it was not matching up. But yeah, it's 820 plus 45 per boon. This is HP before and HP after. The mid game about 100 more HP, approaching 150 if he's buying more green. Overall, uh, now if you're buying more green items, you get the old HP back, I guess, more. Yeah, he actually gets more HP if he buys like 30k green. It's about 200 more. Wait, no, I'm tripping. I'm legit tweaking around for over nothing. But yeah, Victor got gun nerfs, and then same thing as before, right? This is bullet per damage per bullet, is bullet per second. I don't think Victor builds attack speed, but if he does get like random attack speeds for like whatever, the number would obviously be up. On average, this is assuming. I think Victor like always likes to build Berserker, so this is assuming like it's Berserker is like full stacked on top of the shop investment buffs. So it's like 100% damage on his gun. This is DPS before. This is DPS after now. So he lost about 40 DPS late game, 30 DPS in the mid game. Assuming like full Berserker stacks. If he has less stacks, then he's losing less. Warden also got gun nerfs. Yeah, same thing as before. DPS on average, and he also builds. I think he also builds Berserker, so this is his assuming full Berserker stacks, and he also scales by spirit. So this is assuming he's at the 4.8k spirit spike, because I don't think Warden builds anything. He doesn't build much spirit. Obviously, it depends on builds, but this is what I've been looking at, like the most popular or the top ranked Warden builds, and they just go like gun, and then get your 4.8k and then call it a day. This is his spirit, his DPS before at Berserker fully stacked and with this much spirit power. Uh, yeah, 20 DPS, well about 15 DPS, and then this about 15 DPS. Yeah. Oh, Yamato got 24% extra scaling. So this is so with so same thing as Dynamo and the other spirit scaling buffs. For every 100 spirit that she's doing like 24 more damage. So at 4.8k, she has about around 70, 16 more damage per 17 more damage per power slash. And in a game where she's at like 150 spirit power, so about 36 more damage. And but like this, never mind, because I was thinking before that like the tier 3 skilling like it overrides the the buffs that she's getting, but no, actually like the tier 3 scaling increases the same amount based on your tier 2. So like before she was at like 1.7 something something, and her tier 3 was like 2.1% scaling, but now her tier 3 is 2.6 because of her tier 2 buffs. Yeah. But that is, I guess, my deep dive. Once again, I am not like a YouTuber or anything like that. This is basically like a rambling of a man that just wanted to look into the numbers.